The Mongol Empire, founded by Genghis Khan in the early 13th century, stands as one of the most formidable and expansive empires in human history. At its peak, it stretched from Eastern Europe across Asia to the Sea of Japan, encompassing over 24 million square kilometers. What made the Mongols so unstoppable was not just their ferocity, but their unparalleled military tactics and strategies. These tactics allowed them to conquer nations in days, leaving a trail of awe and devastation in their wake. The Mongols moved around a lot, coming from the steppes of Central Asia. They learned how to ride horses and shoot arrows early on. Their harsh environment and way of life made them strong, flexible, and very knowledgeable about how to move around and stay alive. While Genghis Khan, born Temujin, was in charge, the Mongols went from being a group of warring tribes to a unified and well-trained army. Genghis Khan was brilliant because he could organize, generate new ideas, and make people loyal. He set up a system where talent and loyalty were rewarded, no matter who you were or what tribe you were from. This strategy strengthened his army and gave his soldiers a sense of unity and purpose. The Mongols defeated their enemies using psychological warfare, mobility, and smart military strategy. These were their main strategies, which made them almost impossible to beat on the battlefield. The Mongol army was built around its horse soldiers. Mongol warriors were very good at riding horses and could go for days without stopping. Their horses were miniature but challenging, so they could handle the rough steppes and travel long distances without getting tired. Because they were so mobile, the Mongols could attack quickly and run away before their enemies could defend themselves. Their ability to move swiftly over vast distances often caught their enemies unprepared. For instance, when the Mongols invaded Khwarezmia from 1219 to 1221, they went through thousands of kilometers of desert and mountains to attack important cities by surprise. The fake retreat was one of the Mongols' best strategies. They would act like they were running away from the battlefield to make their enemies chase them disorganizedly. As soon as the enemy was spread out and weak, the Mongols would attack with all their might. For this strategy to work, people had to be very disciplined and able to communicate clearly during battle. During the Battle of the Khalkha River in 1223, when the Mongols beat a group of Russian and Cuman forces, the fake retreat was used a lot. The Mongols were very good at using propaganda to attack. They used fear to break down their enemy's will to fight and stop them from doing so. Before attacking a city, they often sent messengers to demand that the people there give up and promise them mercy if they did. If the town fought back, the Mongols would punish them severely by killing everyone in the city and eradicating it. Many cities gave up without a fight because this strategy made people afraid. When the Mongols attacked the Khwarezmian Empire, they destroyed cities like Samarkand and Bukhara to send a clear message to other people. The Mongols were very flexible and learned new technologies and fighting methods from the people they defeated. These tools, like catapults and battering rams, were used to break through city walls. They also used guns made of gunpowder, which they learned from the Chinese. The Mongols were also very good at making the most of their surroundings. They would change the course of rivers to flood enemy camps or use the land to hide. During their invasion of Hungary in 1241, they tricked the Hungarian army into a swampy area where it was hard for them to move around. The Mongols set up a network of relay stations called the Yam system that stretched across their empire. At these stations, messengers could get new horses food and a place to stay, which let information spread quickly over long distances. With this system, it was easy for the Mongols to plan their campaigns and adapt quickly to new situations. The Yam system also made it easier for troops and supplies to move, so even in remote areas, Mongol armies always had what they needed. This logistics advantage was very important to their success during long campaigns. The Mongol army was made up of groups called lumens, each with 10,000 soldiers. These units were further split up into smaller groups, which made things more flexible and spread out the command. Officers were given a lot of freedom to make choices on the battlefield. which let them adjust to the conditions there and take advantage of opportunities as they came up. Many of their enemies had strict hierarchies, so the Mongols had a significant tactical advantage because their structure was less centralized. It also encouraged its officers to take the lead and develop new ideas. The Mongols waged a total war against their enemies, going after their armies, food, and farming resources. To keep their enemies from getting food, they destroyed crops, poisoned wells, and killed animals. Their opponents were weaker after this plan, so they had to give up or run away. On the other hand, the Mongols were very good at tracking their resources. They didn't carry many supplies with them. Instead, they fed their armies by hunting and stealing. This allowed them to work away from their bases and keep going during campaigns. Case studies: Mongol conquests in action. The Mongols were very good at planning their attacks, as shown by their invasion of the Khwarezmian Empire. After the Khwarezmian ruler killed Mongol envoys, Genghis Khan launched a full-scale invasion. The Mongols were able to split up and take over the empire by taking important cities like Samarkand and Bukhara. They used psychological warfare to bring down the people's morale and siege engines to break through city walls. The Khwarezmian Empire was utterly destroyed in just 2 years. At the Battle of Mohi, the Mongols fought against a group of Hungarian and European forces trying to stop them from taking over Europe. By pretending to be on the run, they tricked the Hungarian army into a trap, where they were surrounded and wiped out. The Mongols then used their ability to move quickly to avoid a counterattack and keep moving toward Europe. The Mongols' long campaign to take over China showed how flexible and determined they were. To take over fortified cities, they used siege warfare and hired Chinese engineers to make siege engines. They also took advantage of differences within the Chinese states and used alliances and diplomacy to weaken their enemies. The Mongols took over China in 1279 and set up the Yuan dynasty. The legacy of the Mongol Empire is, well, vast and multifaceted. Their conquests reshaped the political landscape of Eurasia, creating, one of the largest contiguous empires in history. The Mongols were not just warriors, they were also, skilled administrators who implemented policies that facilitated trade and communication across their vast territories. The Silk Road, for instance, flourished under their rule, allowing for an unprecedented exchange of goods, ideas, and cultures. Moreover, the Mongol military tactics and strategies have been studied and emulated by countless armies throughout history. Their use of psychological warfare, rapid mobility, and sophisticated intelligence networks set new standards in military operations. The impact of the Mongols can still be felt today in various aspects of modern society, from military strategies to the spread of technologies and cultural exchanges that, laid the groundwork for the interconnected world we live in now. In essence, the Mongol Empire's legacy is a testament to their ability to, adapt and innovate, leaving an indelible mark on the course of human history. The Mongol Empire's military strategies changed how wars were fought and will be remembered for long. Later military leaders like Timur, also known as Tamerlane, and the Ottoman Turks, were influenced by their focus on mobility, adaptability, and psychological warfare. The YAM system paved the way for modern communication networks, and the way it organized command without a central authority influenced how modern armies were run. The Mongols also facilitated cultural and technological exchange across their empire, connecting east and west through the Silk Road. While their conquests were often brutal, they also contributed to the spread of ideas, goods, and innovations. The Mongols' ability to conquer nations in days was a result of their unparalleled military tactics, their organizational brilliance, and adaptability. Their strategies, from the feigned retreat to psychological warfare, set a new standard for warfare and demonstrated the power of innovation and discipline. The legacy of the Mongol Empire continues to influence military thought and strategy, reminding us of the enduring impact of their conquests. Their story is a testament to the power of leadership, unity, and the relentless pursuit of excellence.